Oh.
We can do that if he doesn't show up. It's like, hey, it's Scott's here.
In spirit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get it going. Hello and welcome to another COVID edition 3 Geeks podcast. We've got me and Dan from 3 Geeks, so we've got our wonderful reoccurring guest, Mike from Mike McGTV, and John from the PVD cast. So there's 4 of us today. We're going to chat it up, see how everyone's doing. John, Mike, thanks for joining.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Sure, no problem.
I like, Max, how you just totally glossed over the fact it's Mother's Day. This is a COVID-19 edition, not a Mother's Day edition.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's the Mother's Day COVID-19 edition.
Dude, you can't put those things together. It's not good.
Hey,
I don't.
Say hi to your mother for me.
I'd say I have one question for you. Can your mother sew? Get her to sew that. Little Joe Dirt quote for you. Yeah, so it's Mother's Day, and we're still in a semi-quarantined fashion, so it's a lot of things. But if you are a mother, or you have a mother, or you know a mother, go ahead and wish them Happy Mother's Day.
What if you're a bad mother?
Mm-hmm.
If you're one bad mother, shut your mouth, then you're still a mother. So
it says so on my wallet.
It does actually say that on my wallet.
There you go.
There you have it.
Now I gotta get Max flowers. Damn.
Yeah, you can go ahead and send me the flowers, chocolates, like whatever, pajamagrams. I'm down for all that.
Are pajamagrams still a thing?
Absolutely.
Okay, I didn't know.
I never knew pajamagrams were a thing. So.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Dan. You have missed out, sir. You're opening up a whole new world of awesome in the pajamagram.
If I may, Max and Dan, thank you very much for talking last week about Extraction. I had to sit down and watch it last night.
Oh, dude, the children. The Thor versus the children. I love it.
Can I just say there were 3 takeaways from that movie? 1, man, oh man, does Thor love to kick the shit out of kids. I mean,
you didn't even know.
You didn't know he had such hatred for children, but man, oh man.
Once he started, he couldn't stop.
Couldn't stop. Secondly, as my friend pointed out, no doubt there were some corrupt cops there in Bangladesh, but probably not all of them. And there was a lot of dead cops at the end of that movie.
Man, there was like terrorist action against Bangladesh.
Yeah. And thirdly, if I'm not mistaken, didn't the movie open in India?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. So I pointed out that the irony of this particular film is that how so many people get angry at the fact that, our jobs are being outsourced to India. And what does India do? They outsource their extraction to a guy in Australia.
But they didn't really, because there's still an Indian guy trying to do the extraction.
I mean, I thought that was the irony behind it all. I'm like,
oh my goodness.
So the next time I hear somebody go, well, they're taking our jobs, I go, not when it comes to extraction and or assassanating half of it.
Australia's taking our jobs, man.
Yeah. Australia.
Look, if you're Thor and there's like a gang of kids that needs push kicked into a well, then you're set. It doesn't matter.
You know what? The Australians have been known to just kick the crap out of kids. Remember that Simpsons episode where Bart offended Australia? Yeah, and the Prime Minister was gonna like boot him through the fence. Yeah. Australia, home of kid kickers.
Hey man, it's been an issue, but that's why they're harder in Australia too, because like as kids they were push kicked all over the place, and now they're used to that sort of treatment.
Yeah, actually, I thought Chris Hemsworth did a pretty decent job in the film
for what he had to do.
For what he had to do, yeah. But I mean, like those glimmers of him like being reminiscent about his own son and that. I thought that was actually pretty good.
Oh, you mean the 2 scenes of acting that were
Yeah.
required for this movie?
Acting.
What did Dan call it? I really want a burrito right now, or something.
Yeah, it's the staring off into the distance vision. It's just
Which, to make that better, the first time he does it, after he finds out the kid could play piano, I'm like, there should have been a piano right there, and the kid could have like
Could have like
Chris
played
stares off.
him to sleep. You
Yeah,
know, like
exactly.
the music soothes the beast. There's no children to kick, so the beast can finally slumber.
Hush now, Father. May the angels sing thee to thy rest. Now, John, I just got to say, you said thanks to Dan and Max for them making you aware of a certain piece of media. I can't tell if the thanks you gave me for another piece of media was serious or if you were like, God damn it, Mike.
God damn it, Mike. Seriously. No, it's my own fault, because here's what happened. I looked up the Donnie and Marie Star Wars thing.
Oh my God.
I, like an idiot, was like, well, there's the 2 cut scenes and there's the whole episode. I'm like, I'll just watch the whole episode because I don't know where these cut scenes are. No. Halfway through, I'm like, oh my God, I want to murder myself right now. Fast forward, because I mean, you know, I was.
What are you doing, man?
I don't know.
Like, I know you're bored. You're sitting at home. There's, you've done all the podcasting things you can do, but at no point in time, I mean, if you've already seen the Christmas special, do you watch the Donnie and Marie Star Wars special?
I mean, if you just watch the Star Wars portion of the show, it is shorter. So it's
yes, and there's no fast forwarding. Because like originally I'm like, okay, they're gonna start at the beginning and then they come out. And first of all, I was like, wait a minute, they have ice skaters? What the hell? They have a rink in their studio? I'm envious.
Oh yeah, they were a big production.
Oh yeah. And then I'm like, okay, well, all right. So then we go to the first Red Fox where they're shooting pool, which made no sense whatsoever because this is terrible. Red Fox clearly looks like the type of guy that would absolutely hustle the fuck out of you.
But he comes back as Obi-Wan, so I mean, it all ties together.
Yeah. And then we went to Kris Kristofferson, and I listened to one of his songs, and then that was it. I'm like, if the next thing is not Star Wars, we're fast forward. Nope, fast forward. We're not dealing. We're fast forwarding all the way through till we get to Star Wars, and the Star Wars part wasn't bad. I mean, it's not as bad as the holiday special.
Right. But Kris Kristofferson does have the same look on his face that Harrison Ford had during the holiday special, which is like, I can't believe I'm here doing this.
It's like the check hasn't cleared yet, and I'm not sure that I've made the right decision.
Fun trivia, though, since they couldn't get James Earl Jones to voice Darth Vader again, they got Tony the Tiger to voice Darth Vader, which is why when you're listening to it, if you're kind of turned on, that's why. Because
he's great.
He's got a great voice.
I was really bothered by the fact that Donnie was not wearing a shirt under the top, because that chest hair was like, wow, I know it's 76, but man, seriously.
Pure golden 70s man chest right there. That is,
George Lucas,
is how you do.
George Lucas was watching that, and then he was like making notes to himself, like, small tuft of hair, maybe turn into teddy bear alien for later.
all the Batman 66 people were like,
nice.
Maurice, I will say Maurice sings better than Carrie Fisher, so I'll give her that.
Well, I mean, one is the singer.
Yeah, that's true. and most likely wasn't doing drugs at the time because they're the Osmonds. So
it was the 70s.
They're the Osmonds, Max.
I never knew how young Marie was because I was looking up stuff on Wikipedia about the show, and I was like, "Holy shit, she's 16! Isn't that like by like child labor laws or something?"
No, because Mila Kunis was 14 working on that 70s show.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, I was like, wow.
I mean, Michael Jackson was like 10.
And also, it's like, it's a talent show type of atmosphere. She's obviously been raised in that atmosphere with that family, so it's nothing new to her.
True. Very true.
So yeah.
Speaking of the holiday special, though, I wanted to say something in the chat, but it was going to take too long, and I figured I would just confront JT when I was here, and now he's not here.
Yeah, he's not.
But I want to note that the worst thing to him about the holiday special was B. Arthur, for some reason. Not the masturbating Wookiee or the horrible animation or anything else.
B. Arthur is the best thing about the holiday special.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I agree.
She at least looks like she cares about what she's in.
Yeah.
And she was one of the only like timely people, because like even in the 70s, Art Carney was a wash-up. Like, who cares about Art Carney in 1977? I mean,
he did the damn thing like 3 times.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Jefferson Starship, but even then they felt like kind of out of time.
Yeah.
It's not Jefferson Airplane, So.
Yep, that's true. Oh man, could you imagine if it was Jefferson Airplane instead?
Oh, that would have been glorious. That would have been glorious.
My favorite part about the first time I saw the holiday special, my friend Art had a copy of it.
Art Carney?
Yeah. No. I hang out with Art Carney.
He's like, don't watch it. He's like, no,
he's
Art,
got nothing else to do.
He got it off of eBay, and it was a VHS tape, and it was from Baltimore, so it had all the Baltimore like the local commercials and the national commercials, and that was the best part about it.
Oh yeah,
it was like it's how would you like Merrick cigarettes? They're the or like all these come on down to Tom Johnson Ford. We got all the Fords. We got the Ford Pinto, brand new for 1978.
The commercials are sometimes the best part. If you find a copy that has like the local commercials on it, because there was one that was like pro labor unions and stuff like that, and it's like. Man, you can just imagine Hoffa's ghost would be so proud with this anthem. There was one where the copy I saw had one with this commercial called Ball Buster. And the whole idea is like you have these balls set up on like on cords and stuff, and you're supposed to like knock them into each other. It's like chess, but with balls, essentially. And so the whole commercial, it's a family playing this. Is like the objective is to bust your opponent's balls. And at the very end, the husband's like, "You're a ball buster, honey." And she looks at the camera like,
"You need that in the same commercial break as the Wonder Boner."
Or your mate and your Johnson. Which, when I saw that commercial for the first time, I'm like, what are they selling? Oh, boats. Okay. I was like, I don't know what this commercial's selling me to start with, so I can't find it funny.
Dude, I was watching some old wrestling, and they had the commercial still left in, and I was amazed at and we're talking like 83, 84, at how, like, in my mind, how cheap things were. Because they had Tom Peterson was like this furniture store, and get a 27-inch Magnavox color television with remote control, only $278. I'm like, that's actually not
with
so bad.
Remote control, hot damn.
Yeah.
What they don't tell you is the remote control is still on a cord. So.
Yeah. They always find a way to catch you. Of
course. Damn.
And if it was 1983, like they had cordless remotes by then. I remember.
Yeah. I just, like, to me, like, I know in 1983, $278 is a lot of money, but to me, I'm like, shit, man, that's...
Yeah, but also that TV weighed 800 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it had the wood case around it.
Man.
Yeah, it had the wooden
the
case
cabinet.
thing. Yeah, it had the cabinet. We all had one of those, right?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, my God.
I had one of those growing up,
Oh, my God.
I moved one of those from, like, 4 different apartments because I didn't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, because what does a TV need? Storage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you still have it?
No.
It's like, I played Duck Hunt on that thing.
I did, actually, but not anymore.
Man.
Because Dan got tired of moving it for the 5th time. When it came time for the 5th time, he's like, nah, never mind. I'm just leaving it.
Well, the way to move it upstairs was you just flip it over onto the top and push it.
I used to have back in the day, TVs had these things called antennas. I used to have that console or whatever where you could actually just adjust the antenna separately. Like it wasn't actually attached to TV, but you could like have it close by and plug it in and the reception would clear up. My parents used to hate when I would play with that when I was little because I used to think it was just like a video game thing or something. So I'd be like constantly flipping the dials and knocking the TV out of like good reception and be like, God damn it, Michael, stop playing with the antenna.
We can't watch Trapper John MD now. Damn it.
I'm an astronaut, Mom.
I'll never know what the furniture deals are. Damn it.
Exactly.
The dude is like, get your TV for the low price of, and then Mike starts flipping.
What does it cost?
No, that was an oak cabinet.
So I'm ratting out my parents on this one. We had a black and
on
white
Mother's Day.
On Mother's Day. That's right. Did anyone else's parents think that playing a video game console would ruin the TV?
No.
Okay, mine did.
Technically, it kind of would. Depending on what kind of TV you have.
Well, it was one of those old, like, I had to, like, we had an old black and white television, and then we had the color one in the family room.
Yeah.
And, yeah, my parents were like, you got to put the Atari 2600 on the black and white one. Why? Because it's going to ruin the TV. I'm like,
oh, okay.
It's going to ruin the TV? Okay.
I mean,
I didn't argue, but I'm like, I don't think that's how it works, Mom and Dad. But,
No, it's not.
There might have been some apprehension from my folks just because, you know, at the time we had the VCR attached to the big TV and so forth. They were like, I don't know if we're going to have, you know, we don't go through the process of attaching and reattaching this in the Atari, because I had an Atari as well. So they had a TV in the basement that we had the Atari hooked up to, and I played the hell out of that thing.
yeah.
I broke my Pac-Man joystick, so all I was left with was a long like dial turner. And that's when I was like, okay, I think we run our course with this video game system because no one
Did you subscribe to Atari Age magazine?
No, I was too young for that one.
Because they used to sell joystick repair kits.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, I mean, Mike, you would have known about the joystick repair kits, except you kept on changing the dials whenever the
yes, exactly. I was too busy finagling with the antenna.
Yep. You're lost.
Yeah.
No, I was lucky. Like, my dad was an old school gamer. Like, he bought an Atari for my sister, in quotes there. And he played it so much that he broke it too, Mike. So it's luckily they weren't ever like, no, you can't have the video games, because my dad wanted to play them too. So that was cool. That was pretty good. We weren't rich enough to buy them all the time, but at least they were welcome when we could get them.
That's a consistent thing in my life is no matter what the game system is, my controller will be broken because I handle these things roughly. Like, it happened with my Super Nintendo, didn't happen with my Genesis. My GameCube, as far as I know, is still okay, but it's in storage. And right now, my PS4 controller, the joystick, always, like, my characters are always veering left because the joystick's just inherently wanting to veer left.
Dude.
And my left bumper on my Xbox is busted, so...
The Xbox One and PS4 controllers are terrible, and like compared to like the last generation quality controllers, these ones are awful. And they start tracking, like you're saying, like in a matter of months, or depending on what games you're playing.
Right.
And it's bad.
It is frustrating to web swing around New York City when Spider-Man always wants to just go left all the time.
It's like, hey, we're gonna circle this block.
And I tried playing.
That's NASCAR. Come on.
I played. Oh yeah, if I had a racing game, I'd be set, no doubt. but also, like, I got done playing that Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I did a video on it over at Mike McGTV. But it's this downloadable game. But the problem is, a lot of the functionality of it relies on the left bumper. So the left bumper is constantly falling off my Xbox controller, and I'm like, fuck, how am I ever gonna beat this thing if I can't use this?
No, I just I'm playing Breath of the Wild, on lockdown, and my left joystick is now pushing hard to the left. Like I've noticed a gradual worsening of it, and it's like, okay, I can still play with this. It's no big deal. And then now it's like every time I'm trying to do something, you're like trying to shoot an arrow at somebody, it's like, nope.
Yeah, like, dude, the Switch is really bad. Like I love the console, but I've gone through 3 controllers that I've had to replace because of drift.
And I couldn't find just one controller by itself.
Yeah, it's got you gotta get like a pack or something.
So I had to buy her. So now I'm just gonna be stacking. Yeah, I'm stacking right Joy-Cons and and I'm low on left ones. So yeah, it's kind of dumb.
Max, with any luck, there will be a run on right side controllers here with the pandemic, and then you're sitting on a gold mine.
There you go.
Hopefully,
in the dark ages, we've done away with monetization or with cash. We'll be trading for the ability to play our games with ease.
Switch accessories.
We could start a fake news cycle,
controller.
couldn't we?
Don't buy gold. Buy right and left Switch controllers.
What if you have gold Switch controllers?
Ooh. I've only heard of such things in legends and folk tales, Dan.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like go to some sort of dungeon and like you go through 10 rooms and you find a key in one room and then you go through like 15 other rooms and then you find a door, but that key doesn't open the door that you made it to.
Golden Switch console sounds like something Kanye has.
Yeah,
Kanye is blessed by the Lord, so I'm sure that he does have a golden Switch. That's true.
He probably stole that Taco Bell golden PS4.
I actually ate Taco Bell to try to get that.
The only reason I would eat Taco Bell.
Right? I mean, there's not really any other.
Is that one of the mythical challenges? You must eat Taco Bell, and everyone shudders at the mere mention of it.
They got rid of the freaking caramel apple empanadas over there. I'm morally outraged.
Are you?
Yeah.
Not because Taco Bell doesn't have like actual, tacos or Mexican food. It's because of the empanadas.
Well, I mean, the empanadas were the only thing that Taco Bell had that were superior to every other fast food chain. Okay, you got that dessert on lock. I'm coming over there and spending my $2 on a caramel apple empanada, and then they're just like, you know what? You're an asshole, Max. We don't want you. And that was that. So they do have the Cinnabon little mini bite things, but
those aren't the same, are they?
No,
it's not. They're not bad, but they're not the same.
Did Taco Bell ever do churros?
Yes.
Had to have, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think.
I thought they still had them, but
They probably do.
They had those like shitty swirl things that were.
Okay. I just thought that was what Taco Bell called churros.
Oh, yeah. You might be on the money right there.
I just realized we've gone nonstop on like just going from topic to topic, and it all started with that Chris Hemsworth kicking kids thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't even touched on the 3 topics we were going to discuss.
I know, we haven't even touched on
it. We're like,
the beauty of the 3 Geeks podcast
I'm telling people we don't have topics. They just won't even notice.
I'm just looking for I'm just looking for an in to segue to one of these topics, and we haven't needed it. So it's like
every time Max thinks we're gonna go right, we drift left, like our character. Boom, shah, yeah, fuck yeah.
All right. So speaking of things that we're looking to talk about. When everything's all cleared up and it's starting con season, or con season would be starting right now.
Yeah.
What are 3 cosplays that you haven't seen, or 3 cosplays that you have seen that you'd like to see again? When we get back into the con stuff, convention for those who are lay people.
Yeah, because I think I've seen enough Deadpool, Black Widow, Captain America. Yeah, those are all played out. I want to see some original stuff. What's Mike holding up?
That's who I want to see a very effective cosplay of. Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
I have yet.
Okay.
I might have been passing, but it wasn't like anything memorable. I would love to see like a really just detailed and efficient Swamp Thing costume.
I think I've seen one, Mike, with a lot of the seaweed and all that, and I want to say it was when I went to New York City Comic Con, because New York City Comic Con, there was some folks up there that had like 5-star amazing cosplay.
The New York City Con is on par with San Diego now, I think.
Yeah.
It was a blast.
It's huge.
But I mean, like, you know those cosplayers who got like the Transformer get-ups, and they're like towering over you, but they like walk so smoothly, and you know, I'm sure it isn't comfortable, but it does look like it's just natural and comfortable. Like I would love to see like something like that, just a towering mass of moss creature. Just
that was the best cosplay I've ever seen. Was at New York City Comic Con. Somebody who was Bumblebee.
Okay,
They were head to toe, standing above you. The voice modulator, they had the whole nine, and it was amazing.
I've seen a Bumblebee, a pretty good one. Not great, but pretty good. And I saw it was at the convention maybe last year or 2 years ago. There was a good Ironhide. Was it Ironhide?
One of them.
Either way, it was really good. I don't know which Transformer he was. But,
did the Bumblebee ones pee on anybody? Because then you have a perfect cosplay there.
But I would like to see an Optimus Prime. I've not seen anyone go for broke and give me, or a Megatron. I would like to see an Optimus Prime or an original cartoon Megatron, not the movie Megatron.
Since we're sticking with robots on my list of the 3 cosplays, I would like to see, because I just recently rewatched the film, I want to see either a Maximilian or Vincent from the Black Hole.
No, I hate those robots.
Why? Damn.
The eyes just make me. Oh wait, no.
You're thinking of someone.
No, Vincent has the weird bug eyes.
Yeah. The Maximilian is the scary red one, right? With
yes.
the squishy hand. Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
I know not of what you speak.
While we're on the subject of robots, I think there should be a Johnny 5 cosplayer.
Ooh,
that'd be hard because Johnny 5 is skinny.
So skinny, yeah.
I mean, I would take it if somebody just built a drone.
Yeah,
Johnny
just
5
puppet or something.
That would be
awesome.
I'm sure it exists somewhere.
Max, you've never seen The Black Hole?
No.
You need to log into Disney Plus and check it out.
Okay.
It's Disney science fiction from like 1979. It actually holds up well because I haven't seen it in like 35 years. And I watched it last Sunday. And I'm like, this really holds up. It's one of those like Tron where I think it was geared towards kids, but it's not a kid's science fiction because it's like the themes are way over the head and, you know. But it actually held up really, really well. I was surprised by it.
Disney during that time was... Yeah, really. Their projects were really weird because I remember they did that was around the same time they did an adaptation of Something Wicked This Way Comes.
I love that movie.
I think so. Yeah.
They got really dark with their sci-fi stuff, but it's not the bright, optimistic stuff like it is now in the Star Wars movies, which, by the way, are all streaming on Disney Plus. Ching.
God, I wish.
And
you can read some of that Disney money.
And you can read my review of The Black Hole on 3geeks.ninja.
All right, John, there you go. All right.
There it is.
I'm not as glowing as John was. I mean, the backgrounds and everything in it are beautiful. The story is not so much.
From a technical standpoint, you appreciate it, is what you're saying.
Yeah. It's just like it doesn't have much story. Like they docked and people are dead and the bad guy's crazy and now we're on an acid trip.
Ooh, yeah.
The
ending is weird.
Yeah.
You didn't have me until acid trip, but here we go.
Hey.
This ties into our cosplay stuff, but talking about all these dark sci-fi movies that Disney made, but also like some other dark sci-fi stuff. A cosplay I would love to see, Invaders from Mars, the Toby Hooper one. I would love to see someone do a cosplay of that brain critter. It could be another puppet issue, but like monster.
I have to look that one up. I'm unfamiliar with. Sorry.
It's fine.
Familiar with.
It just sunk in my head. I'm like, I would love to see like just some really gross Invaders from Mars cosplay.
I would like to see a good Brainiac. I don't think I've ever seen anyone go for Brainiac. Like crazy alien info technology.
What Brainiac are you looking for? Like Injustice Brainiac or like Brainiac wearing the short shorts Brainiac?
No, we're gonna have to stay away from the short shorts. But
because I can cosplay that, easy.
You know what, Mike? I'm not gonna impede you. Like, do your thing. Let's see how it goes. I'm like, you know, like, why close myself off to possibly greatness? But
hey, speaking of shorts, the second best cosplay that I saw in New York City was a dude with 70s Luke Cage, but he was jacked. And he had, you know, the cut, the shirt down to here, and the afro.
Oh, Power Man.
Yeah.
He was Power Man, yes. But he was jacked beyond belief, too. He's been in the gym a little bit.
Yeah. Believe it or not, like he only trained for the last like 3 months just to wear that outfit. Like it's not even something he does in his normal life.
Yeah.
And he's
Mike, that is terrifying. I just looked that up. The Invaders from Mars.
Yep.
That's terrifying.
Yep. But which Brainiac would you want, Max? Then
actually, like I'm down for anything really. Like I just don't think I've ever seen anyone cosplay Brainiac. So you know, like I would just like to see an interesting Brainiac. It doesn't really have to be from any specific thing, or you could pull from a bunch of different things because Brainiac always gets to redesign, and you know, there's no like iconic Brainiac design.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they've done them in 100 different ways. So I would like to see something like that.
I never saw the show, but I saw images every once in a while. Like the designs they had of Brainiac and Doomsday for like the Krypton show, those were actually like pretty decent. Like I was like, "Whoa, those are intimidating." I mean, I heard the show was crap, but
and you know, like that'd be cool too. Like because I haven't seen the Krypton design for Brainiac, so like if someone walks in as Krypton Brainiac and I'm like, "That's Brainiac and that's awesome," then like yeah, I'm 100% down for that.
Sticking with this idea of robots, this is another one.
We are kind of stuck on robots.
We are.
For cosplay, they are probably the most complex cosplay you could probably do. Like anyone can dress up as a Riddler or dress up as Superman easy, but it's just like with robots, there's so many components and like design issues that you got to work your way around in order to make it effective cosplay. So,
go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
Before you go back to robots. Let's stick with brains for a second.
Ooh, okay.
I'd like to see a Starship Troopers brain bug.
That would be like 5 people, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Okay. You got this huge thing with like 5 people under it. It takes up the entire aisle.
Oh god.
That would be great.
You'd have to practice for like 4 months just to like get walking down in that thing. Like, okay, now you take a step. Okay, now he takes a step.
Oh no, dude! It's like the horse costume. You just have one guy in the front and one in the back, and you just got to coordinate left, right, left, right.
You talk about Power Man being in shape. You're going to have to be in shape to do that.
Oh, dude, I mean, I guess I can count on my full marching band experience to get this.
Oh yeah, because you can't bump around. You got to roll. You got to glide.
Yeah. And then you get another group who does a sandworm from Dune, right? And then they can fight.
They fight each other.
Yes.
The sandworm would rule on the brain bug. Are you serious? Like the brain bug's whole deal is it's got 8 million other bugs to do its bidding.
Depending on the size of the sandworm.
Yep, that is true, because sandworm could just eat all of them.
Eat it. Just straight eat it, and then like the whole like city block around it.
Sandworm cosplay would be cool, because then you just get like a little action figure to sit on top of your head that looks like Kyle MacLachlan. Yep.
Or a child, and then you could kick it.
Oh, there you go. It all works its way back to child abuse. Great.
This is a great episode.
What a wonderful episode.
They're all wonderful.
3 Geeks has been brought to you by Audible, maybe? Is Audible stuff?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
That's like the
audibletrial.com/3geeks. Get there.
Kick your children. There you go.
Going back to robots.
Wait, John. Do these robots have an adolescent kicking function?
Well, maybe.
Okay.
I would love to see one of any of the Shogun warriors.
Ooh.
Okay.
You know, Dengar Ace, Kambatra, or Raideen. I like Raideen because I had the Raideen 24-inch action figure. So I would go with that one, but I'd take any of the 3 because I think that would be sweet.
That'd be pretty
Especially if you get the fist to fly off the costume.
And then it launches into the crowd. You're like, can someone get my fist, please?
Someone just gets like mauled, but some small child just gets.
Some child gets punched by the fist, the flying fist.
Yes. I'm down. Some little
The
kid
guy-
playing Spider-Gwen just gets freaking a gut full of robot fist.
The guy in the Shogun costume like awkwardly shambles through the crowd like, sorry.
It's like he's gonna wind it back up. He's like, oh, just hold on one second. Sorry, I'm sorry.
That's why you never see a Brainiac, because he just got knocked out by flying fists.
All right. Are there any other sick cosplays anyone's looking for?
Well, I'll throw out Lady Rawhide from last
Again.
Okay.
So I would like to see a Lady Rawhide.
You are the only one allowed to do that cosplay, John.
Tell you what.
Can I be honest? I'm just gonna admit something right now. Whenever I am on like Twitter or IG and there's those cosplay girls going, who would you like to see us do? Who would you like to see me do? Would you like to see Harley Quinn? No, fuck Harley Quinn. I want to see Lady Rawhide. And I write that every time. I respond to their tweet. Lady Rawhide. Google it. No dice. I probably get blocked a lot, probably, is what I'm doing.
And then you never see tweets from them ever again.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an aggressive tone to take.
Yeah.
Do
it!
Politely suggest Lady Rawhide. Here's an obscure character that not a lot of people have seen. Very interesting costume features.
Dear mistress of the cosplay,
You need to
what
entice.
I would like to suggest to you in earnest.
Yes, yeah, like church it up and see if you get
Church
the
it
better
up.
results.
Church it up. Church up, Lady Rawhide. Nice.
There's like 16 tweets by the time I get done with it. I formally decree. Oh shit, Twitter's out of character. Send.
Furthermore.
Oh
my
man. God. No, I need you to present like an old freaking like a parliamentary process.
Treat it like you're writing your thesis statement or your thesis paper about it. The need for more Lady Rawhide cosplay.
And then write it in like older English, so that double S's have an F.
Nice.
Congress?
Yes, that'll be good. And I think we'll see Lady Rawhide sooner than later if we employ these tactics.
Well, the thing is with that, from what I understand, because like I said, I haven't read the books, but after you mentioned her last week, I saw some of the pictures. Like, they got to be really good with like rope tricks, like lasso and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, if you can get someone to do that, like,
in the books, look, she's a she's a positive role model for women. I mean, she fights evil. She doesn't need Zorro to help her out. She'll do it on her own.
Yep.
She don't need no man.
No man.
Honestly, that make it kill. The pageants they do at cons. Like, if you could get someone to do effective Lady Rawhide cosplay, and then they can actually do all the stunt work with the lasso and stuff like that, that would win over a lot of the judges, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, because again, any sort of like rope work is impressive when you're rocking 6-inch heels. Like,
I mean, honestly, any kind of work is impressive when you're rocking 6-inch heels.
Yeah, that's just something I'm not willing to do, and I couldn't even if I wanted to. So more power to all the ladies who do everything in high heels, because good God.
So, our formal challenge has been issued to any and all cosplayers out there who think they can pull off effective Lady Rawhide, not just cosplay.
If you catch us at a convention rocking Lady Rawhide, I will buy you a T-shirt from that convention from wherever you want. Like, no joke. That will have to happen.
There you go.
Enough said.
But first, Max is going to let loose like a calf into the crowd, and you have to hog tie it. You got to catch it. You got to hog tie it.
Or you have to be able to lasso a child, since we're bringing it full circle.
Bringing it full circle.
And by calf, he means child.
Yeah. Forget the cat.
Bringing it full circle.
Is a child. It's just not a human child. So I think that still counts. We can just let the animal go.
And then what we have is the Chris Hemsworth extraction cosplayer kick the child, and there you go.
Oh, dude.
You really think there's going to be Chris Hemsworth extraction cosplay?
Now we're going to get flooded with pictures of people doing that.
Oh, my God.
Man. This guy right here, I'm going to be Chris Hemsworth, because then I get to go boot kick children, and I'll be like, whoa, no, it's just my cosplay. Like, that's not...
It's not what I actually do.
Yeah, it's not assault.
Yeah.
It's my cosplay.
This is all in jest, people. Don't be offended. It's all in jest.
I tried to send 14 kids to the hospital, caved in chest in a size 14 shoe.
Well, what you have to do is you have to have a little piano next to you all the time, and then actually just have one of the kids and learn how to play piano.
There you go.
So that John can have his weird vision fulfilled.
I'm just saying it would have made the movie better. Okay, more piano. More piano.
You turn this cosplay into a parade float. Kids are falling off left and right. Kids playing piano.
Yeah, the float starts with like 83 kids on there, and it's like every block you kick another one off of there.
You need like a paper mache truck to run over one of them, you know.
I would deal with one of those things where they set up the puppets, so he's like, they tussle and then he kicks the kid off, and then it comes, then it resets,
like a Punch and Judy.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing.
Macy's Day Parade presents The Long Walk.
That's probably what it will be this year. Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, great segue, Mike. What are we looking forward to post-COVID-19?
Is there going to be a post-COVID-19?
No.
Everything ends. Everything. So, humanity might be over before COVID is, but, it will be over then after that.
Technically.
Well, I know we touched upon a little bit, I know, Max, you're kind of, craving to get back into, the theater-going experience, and that got me thinking a little bit of, what big venue things I would like to go back to doing when this clears. I don't know.
I just want a haircut, man. I just want a haircut.
Yeah, well, yeah, that isn't so much like a wish fulfillment thing as it is just the necessity at the end of the.
This isn't supposed to do this. So,
Well,
Dan, you're not trying to get back into your fucking flowing locks.
I could at this point.
Here we go. Thrift shopping. I'm looking forward to going back to some of the local thrift places I got around here, because I always find some cool furniture piece or some cool I got the entire series of Police Squad on DVD for $1 from one of those places. I'm I can't wait to find some more obscure DVDs. I'm sure I could find them on Amazon, but I gotta wait, and that's not as gratifying.
Well, it's not the same. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
As just discovering it accidentally on your own.
Right.
Yeah.
And even for something when I was playing Magic, I wouldn't go online and buy Magic cards. I wait for them to cut the one that I want to come into the store to buy it, and it's there's just something different about it's very sterile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Same with comics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That, you could go, well, I need Shogun Warriors number 13, but I'm going to wait till a Jeff Harper show when I can get it for $1. Or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right, and that's why I used to go to cons. It's I went to one convention and I found 3 books out of the Secret Six series, and I had not seen them on a shelf anywhere else. And I was like, holy shit! And it was only $25. I was like, this is amazing. And then so I definitely missed the thrill of the hunt, and I could definitely agree with that, Mike.
On the nerd side of things too, the idea of having not cons maybe, because cons can be big and overwhelming for some people, but having meet and greets with some of your favorite creators in person, as opposed to we're gonna have this teleconference instead, or this Q&A online. It's no, to actually for example, when I went to Red Bank to go meet Kevin Smith to do that signing, to talk with like-minded people, and to actually sit and talk with Kevin Smith for a while. I had I think it was Andy Kubert out here at one of the shops. He was signing for his Spider-Man issue that he was doing, and so I brought my Batman versus Predator that he inked, and had him sign it, but also talk to people in line and just chill and talk about stuff like that. I miss that, definitely.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I would like sports to return in some way.
Sports. Football.
Sure. Yeah. I think for me that probably, like I said, haircut, sports returning. I agree. Cons would be great, no matter the size or whatnot. I think that's it for me, really.
Dan, what are you looking
Cons. I want cons.
Just cons?
I mean, because like I have the Three Geeks email on my phone, right? So when I get done with work, I check it, and it's all this stuff like Origins isn't going to be around this year, and this one's canceled and that one's canceled. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, our whole season got canceled.
I know. I was really I was really shocked. Just as a side note, I was shocked, even though it's the right decision, but I was shocked that Bob canceled Space.
Yeah.
For this year, I was really kind of like, because that wasn't until July, and I'm like, well, optimistic me. I was like, well, maybe we'll get to do it, and then he, which is the right decision. Bob made the absolute right decision on that. I just kind of was taken aback by it.
Yeah, that's the one that hit home. It's crappy. But, like again, you gotta keep your distance and stay healthy and keep everyone safe. So
most definitely.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to movies. Going back to the movie theaters is my number one. Like I cannot wait to just go see new movies in the theater. But that's what I'm mainly missing.
Do you realize how crowded the docket of movies is going to be now because everything got pushed back? Yeah. It's going to be like three mega blockbusters all in the same weekend in like March. This
awesome.
It's going to be like ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I'm down. Wow. I will soak it all up. Like I'm going to be a glutton for fun. I'm just going to get like a bubble so I can just stay in the theater for extended periods of time and not have to worry about anything. Because I will do a triple feature back to back. Like that sounds glorious to me. The last double feature I did, I think, was Sicario and The Martian in the same day at the theater. So like,
wow.
Luckily, I saw The Martian last because Sicario is very depressing and The Martian is very uplifting. So, I had a good attitude coming out of it. But I miss that stuff. Like, I'd really like to go see a bunch of movies at the theater.
Has anyone done like what was everyone else's like? Has anyone ever done a double feature like that, or just where you spend a whole day at the theater essentially?
I have not. I've never done that.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. I've never.
You definitely got to be in the mood for it. Like it's not as easy as I thought. Like oh man, I love movies. Like I'll just spend all day at the theaters. Like like once you get out of the second one, you're like okay, And I thought like I'd be able to watch like they release all the Marvel movies before the next Marvel movie would come out. You could
marathon,
all of them. Yeah, I was like I could do that. I don't know if I could do that.
I did a triple feature. I think 3 years ago, I want to say it was, but yeah, you have to have a constitution for it because I was just doing it just to see the movies and review them. I wasn't doing it because I'm like, oh, I'm really looking forward to like some of these because it was The Kingsman, which I liked.
Okay. Yeah.
It was Seventh Son, which I was like, oh God, I'm so bored. And then it was 50 Shades of Grey. I'm gonna admit, I was laughing all throughout that thing. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it. I enjoyed it for absolutely the wrong reasons. I was like dumb it was, but yeah.
Mike, I went to go see it in the theater because the girlfriend wanted to see it. I'm like, okay, we'll go. And look, when your target demographic audience is middle-aged, white, soccer moms.
Oh, people brought wine to this thing.
Like, but when that's your target audience and they are laughing at what they're seeing,
yes, absolutely.
You have failed as a filmmaker. You have failed.
Or you're Tommy Wiseau.
The only point I remember this really distinctly. The only point in that theater going experience where the group collectively went right on is when it's revealed that Dakota Johnson doesn't shave her legs. Like, because who's got time for that when you're working your ass off? And like she reveals her legs and it's just like, yeah, they got hair, whatever. And everyone in the audience was collectively like, that's right. We ain't got no time to glamorize. It's like,
yeah, that movie was horrid.
I read all 3 50 Shades of Grey books. I was back home. I was in the Marines. I was back home and I was staying with my girlfriend. she had left, so I had like no car, I had nothing to do, and she had all 3 books stacked up right there. So I read them all in a weekend because it's like 5th grade reading.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but like I was like, if you take all 3 of these books and make one movie, there might be one movie in there. And then they're like, no, we're gonna make 3 movies.
Has anybody seen anything cool? I mean, I know we've talked about my viewing of Extraction, but I've watched a couple of other things. Have you guys watched anything cool?
Like something brand new?
Well, no, actually, no. My stuff is all old stuff. I watched, and I've been looking for it. I was surprised Vudu had it, and it was worth the $3. I watched an old Western called the Cheyenne Social Club, which stars Jimmy Stewart, Henry Fonda, and Shirley Jones. And it's wonderful. I highly recommend it. It's light, it's uplifting, it's got some great comedy. I mean, Fonda and Stewart play off each other so well. And it's
played me, fool.
It's basically the Jimmy Stewart's like scumbag brother who he doesn't have a very good relationship with, dies and leaves him basically a whorehouse in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And it's hilarious because, it's Jimmy Stewart. So he, are you ladies, and he won't just say, are you ladies whores? He's got to beat around the bush. It's hilarious. And there's a bad guy in there, but it's really well done. And Gene Kelly actually wrote and directed it, produced and directed it. So,
Produced. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I checked that out. It was really a fun 90-minute flick. I
was watching, speaking of Westerns, I was watching the Clint Eastwood, they had a marathon on, and I can't remember the name of the movie, but Clint Eastwood, I got a new appreciation for Clint Eastwood, like in his Westerns, because like he just played such a hard ass, and it is like, he's a gunslinger, and the town hires him because they're getting raided by whoever, and he kind of takes over the town, and some people don't like it because there's this, there's a secondary scandal going on in the town, and so Clint Eastwood's got to wade through those waters, but like the whole time he takes over this dude's hotel, he kicks everybody out of the hotel because he wants to stay there, and then the preacher's like, "Sir, you can't just kick out all the people. Those are your brothers and sisters in Christ." He's like, "I don't believe that." He's like, so you mean to tell me that all those people out there are your brothers and sisters? And the preacher's like, yes, of course, we're all brothers and sisters in the eyes of the Lord. He's like, well, why don't you take your brothers and sisters to your house and keep them there?
Man, you don't remember what one that was?
I don't know the name of it, but I was just like, hard ass. I love this movie.
Is that Pale Rider?
It sounds very Pale Rider-ish, honestly.
I've never seen Pale Rider, so I can't say yes or no.
Maybe Hang 'em High.
No, it's not Hang 'em High.
Not Hang 'em High?
I've seen Hang 'em High.
I will say, this pandemic, it's given me a good excuse to actually get to all the movies in my queue on my Amazon. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm like, you know what? I'm eventually going to get to Alley Cat, John.
Yeah.
Like, it's in my queue, I think, still. I think I still got access to it, so I will eventually get to it. But just for fun, I was like, there was some Fulci stuff I know I visited. I revisited Bone Tomahawk, which I'm just like, oh, yeah, right.
Oh, I still need to see that.
No, you don't.
I need to watch that.
You can. There's one moment where you'll be like, I never want to see another movie again.
Bone Tomahawk?
Yeah. I never want to see, you'll never play Mortal Kombat the same after watching it. Like, there's a moment, and it's just like, ew. Ew, ew, ew. But, yeah, there's that, and, a bunch of, older stuff or Z-grade stuff that you can't find in wire distribution except on, Amazon, because Amazon has all the knockoff stuff.
Yeah.
I watched The Mist, which...
I love that movie.
Yeah, I love The Mist.
I don't know. It was okay. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it.
Did you see the color version of it or the black and white?
The colored version.
Did you see the ending of it?
Excuse me?
Did you see the
ending of it?
Yes.
How do you not like the movie?
The ending was good. It was a surprise. I didn't anticipate that. So I'll give it that. Andre Braugher, who I like as an actor, but god damn, he was just way over the top.
I get what you're saying because it is Stephen King. It's based off a Stephen King short, so it's got that Stephen King vibe about it, where people's dialogue might be a little much.
It was like Andre Braugher's character went from like 0 to 60 like that.
That's a lot of Stephen King characters.
Right, and I kept thinking to myself the whole time too, like, they keep mentioning this army base. How come that has not been brought up yet in conversation until like 3/4 of the movie? And then they're like, we're going to talk to the army guys. Why didn't you do that first? Like,
well, because ultimately that's not what the movie's about.
I know. Like, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I just kind of was like,
yeah, it's okay.
It was kind of a math monster movie right up until the end, and then like that one just.
I will say, if you watch the black and white version of it, it very much has a better tone and feel. I believe, because then you kind of play into the idea of like, oh, this is sort of like it can feel like a throwback to like 50s or 60s kind of horror, like the haunting. The original Haunting and so forth, or things like that, where I don't know, it's moodier. I feel when you watch the black and white version.
Sure, I rewatched There Will Be Blood the other night because I haven't watched that in forever.
A bastard in a basket.
Drink your milkshake. Drink it up.
Oh God! Whenever the Venom sequel comes out, I just want it to be just a recut version of There Will Be Blood, because the Venom sequel is called Let There Be Carnage, and I'm just
nice.
Instead of a Venom sequel, can you just like redistribute There Will Be Blood? Instead, just call it Venom. There Will Be Carnage.
And it's just Daniel Day-Lewis. Yes, I'm down.
Put CGI tentacles on Daniel Day-Lewis footage.
Yep.
And I'll be good.
And it can't be any worse than the Venom movie. I feel like.
Yeah. And I think the only other thing, I watched Coffee for the first time, which is one of the exploitation movies I have not watched.
I saw your post on that. And my take on it is that Black Dynamite, it doesn't ruin it, but it just adds to it. It's like Mystery Science Theater.
But Dan, I just couldn't stop laughing. It's a serious scene where they're talking about the kids on Smack, and all I could think of is the Black Dynamite scene.
Oh, dude.
You know? That's
like, watch that scene after you watch Disco Godfather. I mean, that's...
I also appreciated how, of course, in Coffee, there had to be a fight among the hoes. And literally every hose top got ripped off except for Pam Greer's. I'm like, see, come on now. One shirt falling off, you know, I can give you that, but seven shirts fell off.
Hi, welcome to Blaxploitation.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is your first Blaxploitation movie. Would you like a further?
Weren't we supposed to do a Blaxploitation podcast? Wasn't that supposed to happen at some point?
We were supposed to watch a bunch and then
I would love doing that.
Do an episode.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
If we ever do a Guy from Harlem episode, I am so there.
Watch the Rip Tracks one too.
Oh my God, I love the Guy from Harlem.
All right, fellas.
He's the guy from Harlem.
Before we devolve into worse exploitations, I'm gonna call this one. This has been the Three Geeks podcast. Mike, John, thank you so much for joining us on this one.
Thanks, man.
Go ahead. Where can they find you guys? Go ahead and do all your shameless plugs.
Go ahead, John.
You can find the PVDcast at pvdcast.com or through any of the major podcast platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Deezer, iHeartRadio, etc. Also, every Monday night at 9:30, you can tune in to Redline Radio and hear this week's episode as well, the live Facebook broadcast, and also the broadcast on their website. Just look for Redline Radio LLC on Facebook, and then just slap .com on the end of it. You can go to their website, or you could probably download the app if you have an Android phone, and then you can take the station with you wherever you go.
iPhone Nation, baby!
And then you can find me over at youtube.com/MikeMcGTV, or follow me on Twitter at MikeMcGTV, or you could go over to our Anchor podcast, anchor.fm/Katie Michael. I do a podcast there called One and Done. We talk about one season shows or pilots of shows that never made it to air, and have a good listen there. Or check out all of the Three Geeks and McGTV merchandise over at tpublic.com. Search up Three Geeks, search up Mike McGTV, buy yourself a mouse pad, a shirt, a magnet, whatever.
And a mug. Yeah, and Mike, you actually just did an episode recently on Mike McG2, right?
Yes, I did. I was joined by a fellow named Max. We talked about a very underwhelming animated movie that featured Batman in it. So you should go check that out on the Chat Cave.
Yeah, Chat Cave, I gotta say, it's just a very excellent show that you do. I dig it. It's very well done, super classy. I dig your co-host. It's a good thing. Check out to Chat Cave on Mike McG TV. It's a solid podcast. All right. Well, it's been awesome, you guys. Thank you so much for
Thanks,
coming
man.
on. This has been your 3 Geeks podcast. Please recycle your droids.